Are you recording already?
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. It's Lit Book Reviews, episode...
At least 10, maybe. Maybe 11. Maybe 9. Somewhere between 9 and 11.
Somewhere in there. It's Lit Book Reviews, back at it again. With me, as always, is Nicole Kidman. I am Keith Urban, and today...
Not different.
Today, we're going to talk about...
Bro, you should have picked someone different.
All right, you want me to start over?
Yeah, dude.
It's Lit Book Reviews, back at it again.
See if you can guess who I think we should be.
Today, I'm here with Dwayne Wade. As always, your main host, LeBron James.
No, dude, I was gonna say Orlando Bloom and Johnny Depp, man.
Oh, that's more fitting, isn't it?
You know.
All right, hold on.
I can't wait for all three of these claps to be in here.
It's Lit Book Reviews, back at it again.
Back at it again, man.
As
This is our
always.
first take. What's up, guys?
As always, I'm here with Keira Knightley, and I'm Johnny Depp.
Let's go.
Let's go. So we're going to start things off in the spirit of that with Treasure Island by Robert Louis Stevenson, right?
Oh, yeah.
Young RLS. So we both audibled this book. This is another audible edition at the beginning of this podcast today. We are going to talk about some other things, but we're going to start here with our next in the audible series, if you will.
Oh, yeah.
Where we do classics. Yeehaw. Oh, man, I didn't do this in this take. So,
dude, all
now we
begin.
begin.
Are going to be in this, so don't even worry about it.
All right,
even worry about it, brother.
So, I mean, where we at on Treasure Island, bro? How'd you feel? Just give me your first thought. We both finished it today.
I feel like it shouldn't count on Goodreads almost, but, it's counting. Because I have, I've really caught up.
I'm behind,
to my
so
goal.
it's counting.
I mean,
I'm
still so far behind, but I'm just trying to trek towards that. I mean, I will say, like, the rendition was, it was entertaining for me. I never thought, like, oh, this isn't good. I think I gave it a 4.
Mm-hmm.
On Goodreads, I'm curious to know, like, what it would have been like if we would have, like, physically read the book, just because, like, I'm sure we'll get into it more as we go, like, into some spoiler stuff, but it's not like a unabridged, direct, exact, like, from the book, so
yeah.
I will say, though, it is kind of cool the way they act through it, and have the little swords clanging and music, and the guys, like, chirping in the background and stuff like that, but
it was entertaining.
yeah, it was good. I liked it. It was a fun little story.
Yeah. You said you gave it a 4?
Yeah. I can't believe you didn't know that this is what Treasure Planet was based off of.
I mean, dude, I finished it today. It just didn't occur to me until you made that reference.
So, I mean, I already knew everything that was going to happen solely because of that. So you didn't even... I mean, I don't know if you even remember Treasure Planet anyway, but...
I don't fully remember the plot,
Okay.
but now that I'm thinking about it, all the parts I remember from Treasure Planet add up to Treasure Island.
It's exactly the same book.
It's the same thing. Except in space, I guess, or whatever.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Why is this not working?
Yeah, so you gave it a 4. I gave it a 3. I mean, it was, all right. Definitely. I mean, we just did Dracula, and Dracula was way better than that.
Yeah, Dracula's really good, though, so it's kind of tough to...
Yeah, it's super tough. It was better than Dorian Gray, the first Audible book we did. I mean, it's way better than that. What are you doing, Rush?
1,000%.
It actually has less reviews than I thought on Goodreads.
Are you looking at it on Goodreads right now?
Yeah, it's got 471,000 ratings, and it's a 3.84 out of 5, which that rating doesn't surprise me, but I thought it'd be like 1 million or something. I thought this was like way more popular, which I guess that is still a lot, but I mean, that's not that much more than Stormlight, and this came out in 1882.
Yeah.
So, good on Sanderson, I guess. Yeah, so, I mean, yeah, it was, the Audible we listened to was kind of, I don't know, if we, like you said, if we listened to something different, we would have a lot of other things to say or maybe feel different about it, but to use full disclosure, this Audible we listened to was not the whole book. Like, it was like the dialogue and then like some like kind of narration, but like all the, Jim walked to the door type stuff that you
Yeah.
would get in a book was not in there. It was just like
No.
it was like you were listening to a movie.
Yeah, and it was the Audible Originals version, I
Yeah.
believe. But I mean, Jim like narrates a little bit, but it's definitely
Yeah.
not the same. I was telling Jesse before we started recording that it's online for free, like the book is. So I was trying to find like where I was at as I was listening, and that was how I found and saw like, oh, this isn't like word for word from the book. Like a lot of the dialogue is, but you know, like you're saying, if a character starts talking, like they have a different voice actor for each character, so you just have to remember who like each character is.
And they're not addressing each other by name every time they talk.
So that's the only thing that does get confusing for sure. But yeah, I mean, still like a nice little thing. I mean, did you start it today or did you start yesterday? Because I did all today.
I started it yesterday. Yeah.
See,
But I listened to most of it today.
Yeah, it's like 6 hours and something if you listen to it at one speed. But I mean, dude, I was listening to like 1.6 and it was still like slow to me.
Yeah, I was listening at 1.5 by the end because I kind of had to hurry up because I was getting like phone calls and whatnot. So I didn't have as much time to finish it as I had planned to. But
it was like a 3-hour listen for me.
yeah, it wasn't long. But there were some characters like John Silver talked a lot slower than some.
Oh, dude.
Or when that scene came up where they're going back and forth like trying to mutiny him or whatever about like wanting to go on and whatever it was. Honestly, I don't remember anything about this book, but they're like, I'm just kidding. But they were like some of the other like Buccaneers talked way faster than Long John Silver, so he would talk and I would understand, and another guy would just blitz through a sentence, and I was like, I can kind of tell what he's saying from the tone. But
it was crazy when Captain D and Burger King came in and just savaged. Long John, you know what I mean?
I did not expect the Kool-Aid Man to show up at the end like that. That was wild.
Oh, sheesh.
So, yeah, I mean, it was entertaining.
Yeah, from a non-spoiler standpoint, I mean, it's definitely like a children's story, an adventure, coming of age for young
coming of age
Jimmy.
is a perfect description for it.
Yeah. So it's just his little adventure. Trying to find some treasure, and I feel like there's some nice little twists. I mean, if you haven't seen, I've already seen Treasure Planet, so like I knew.
Yeah, that just didn't occur to me once.
So were you actually? So you didn't know what was gonna happen this whole time?
No, I remembered. Like I don't think I may have read it when I was young. I don't remember, but for some reason I thought there was cannibalism in this book.
Really, let's read it.
Yeah. So and that ended up being true, partially.
Oh, his story.
Yeah, that's
his
like
fake story.
His fake story.
Okay. All right, I wasn't even thinking about that. So I guess kind of, yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah. All right, you just want to rip into spoilers?
Yeah, might as well. I will say too, it's just like coming out like it's very like nothing happens where you're like, whoa, like it's not like I mean, it feels like at this point in time in the 21st century, it feels almost kind of like predictable and like, whatever. Yeah. But it came out in 1882, so when you look at it from that perspective, it's like, oh, I bet this was like popping in 1882. People were like, whoa, these swashbucklers, it's wild.
I think he was the first to kind of do the whole pirate thing too.
Yeah.
Which is, neat to think about. I think he probably inspired a lot of stuff that we see today without even thinking about it, like the whole Pirates of the Caribbean.
Well, I definitely
stuff.
thought about Pirates of the Caribbean a lot, like the whole black spot thing and how that was completely changed into the Davy Jones Kraken thing and Pirates of the Caribbean. So there was definitely stuff where I could see
he's inspired it.
Yeah, like it's
For
influence.
sure. Yeah, I just keep forgetting that it's because it's always like Captain Silver is different to me than Long John Silver, and so like, dude, every time it's like long, because they wouldn't always throw the long in there, so it's just John Silver. Like sounds different to me than Long John Silver.
Yeah.
And then, dude, I'm just like, man, you want cholera? Let's go to Long John Silver's. Really throw it back to the the early 1900s. But
oh man,
yeah, I mean,
is it not cholera?
Sure.
Who knows? Tomato.
Exactly.
Banana.
Yeah, but I mean, as far as like the classics go, I mean, yeah, dude, maybe it's just because we don't get Dorian Gray, but it's more of a simple adventure tale. So there's not a lot of that nonsense going on.
Yeah.
In there, so if you're looking for something quick to listen to, again, I'd be curious to read it and see. I mean, I'm sure it wouldn't take long. I'm sure you could read it in a day as well, just because I think it's only like 150 pages or something like that.
Yeah, let's just read it tomorrow.
I'm good, dude. Dude, I started Murderbot last night just to casually, and I almost finished it in one setting.
So did you read it or listen to it?
Murderbot? No, I have it on my Kindle.
Oh, your Kindle.
Yeah, so I mean, because I finished Dawnshard last night, and then immediately went into that. Because I was going to start listening to whatchamacallit. I was like, I want to read something, and dude, so, that'll be coming soon, Murderbot, but I feel like they're about the same length, I would say, Murderbot and Treasure Island, as far as like
pretty
looking at it.
Pretty similar books too, right?
Dude, very similar.
It's kind of a rip of Treasure Island, honestly.
I mean, it's good. It's just, again, like, if I wouldn't have ever seen Treasure Planet, I'm sure I would appreciate it more.
Yeah.
But I mean, again, Treasure Planet, as we saw, is one of my all-time favorite movies. So, like, I think, I do like this story. And then in space, it's just so much cooler to me. Yeah. But I do like the story and, the bond that Jim has with freaking Longy Johnny. Yeah. But, anyway, you want to just rip into this?
Yeah. What you got, bro? What you got for me?
So, obviously it starts off with Jim and his family at their little place. Dude, what was it called again? It had like a hilarious name to me. Their little inn that,
like the Bimbo Inn or something.
Something
weird.
The Admiral Bimbo or something like that.
Something weird.
But anyway, I feel bad because, dude, like they made his dad look like
just a complete shot.
Dude, just so weak, dude. He's such a little weenie.
Yeah.
And then he dies, I guess. I don't know. At first, I thought, like, oh, did he die just because he got scared and had a heart attack? Is like what it kind of made it seem like. But anyway, I'd kind of forgotten how it, like, starts off because, like, in Treasure Planet, it's a little different how it starts. But the whole Billy Bones guy coming in and, like, chilling there for a bit.
Yeah.
I knew something was going to happen, but I couldn't remember. And I did kind of like it was a kind of almost a fantastical thing with the his name was Pew, I think. Is that his name?
Yeah.
The blind guy?
Yeah.
Which, dude, as I'm listening to it, I'm like, dude, why is Jim not savaging this blind guy? This blind guy, I mean, maybe he's like
Can't
that
see.
dude in Mortal Kombat. You know what I'm talking about? The blind guy?
Okay. I don't know.
Nah, there's a blind guy in Mortal Kombat who's a savage.
Dude. He
Anyway,
has a son, too, that's like a savage.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, I will. But I kind of like that, and then especially the mystique of the little, what is it? Not Black Plague, but
The Black Spot?
Black Spot. Like him giving Billy Bones that. So, I don't know. I like the way it starts off and, like, kind of the setting.
Yeah.
Especially a lot of intrigue, and then it definitely sets the stage for young Jim Hawkins to kind of not grow up. Dude, I was watching a video. Apparently he's 12.
Yeah,
which I didn't realize that.
On Goodreads, like when I added it as I was reading it, he looks like a pubescent child.
Yeah, I mean, that changes everything, bro, if he's 12. Because I was imagining him like 16.
And how long is the time frame of the book? Like from the beginning to the, do you know?
Oh, because when he comes back.
Yeah, he comes back, his mom's like,
who's my boy?
Who are you?
You're not my boy.
It's like he was 12 when he left. Has this been a 30-year journey?
Yeah, I think it was, dude. I mean, they did have to go from England to, I'm assuming, the Caribbean. Yeah. But I'm not sure. I mean, I would assume a year or two.
Yeah, it makes sense. Maybe he hit puberty along the way, and she's just like, whoa.
Wow. You're 6'8". So what did you think about old Billy Bones? Like, so you said you remembered the storyline before, or you like were reading this fresh, like had no idea what was gonna happen?
No, I really, for the most part, didn't have any idea what was. Okay. I mean, I had a good idea of what was gonna happen.
How did you think like the journey was gonna start though? Did you think old Billy Bones was gonna ask Jim to go on a journey?
Yeah, I did think it was gonna be more something like that.
Yeah,
but then that didn't happen.
No, and I love how also no one else in the village, like when the mom and Jim like run to like get help, everyone's like, "Nah, we're good."
Nah. And then that one kid like goes to another town to get help or something. Yeah. It's like the only one that was like a young person.
Yeah, because the Dr. Livesey or whatever his name was, he was like the only one that like, and that was the other thing. It's like Billy Bones just kind of comes in, like doesn't pay and just chills there for months.
Yeah.
And it's like, I guess that's why, like, I don't know. I hate it when dads are like pictured as like the have no backbone
Yeah.
and just they're not even a guy to look up to. Which, like,
Yeah.
when you kind of think about it at the end of the book, like Jim's not even really thinking about his dad ever. He's always thinking about. I mean, obviously, it becomes the Long John Silver guy as like kind of his role model, but I don't know. It's kind of sad to think like
Yeah.
his dad was there, and then
Mhm.
just he's like,
And he was just like
I
a
don't care
wuss.
about him.
And like Jim's whole like outlook on why he wants to go do stuff is because he doesn't want to be like his dad and end up like he says something about him being surrounded by four walls and never having the courage to go like make something of his life or whatever.
yeah.
So yeah, that is kind of sad. Like, dang, he just like
Which he owns like an inn. I feel like that's pretty like
successful
back
to a
then.
degree.
Yeah, but it's like,
It has
oh,
to
dude,
be.
he's in these four walls.
Yeah,
I gotta get out there to the sea.
and it's kind of one of those themes of like a young kid. Like, it's not necessarily like, oh, he's right to feel this way. Like, he's just a young kid who thinks that
Yeah.
because his dad isn't a pirate, like he's a bum. So there could be that side of it as well.
Yeah. So did you think, to move along in the story, so obviously Billy Bones has the old chest and they open it up and find like a little thing, a little map thing, and he gives it to the like investor guy, the Tree Lonnie dude, and they like, all right, we're gonna like form a crew and all that. Like when Long John Silver gets introduced, like did that like spark anything for you since he has one leg and the whole
Yeah.
time Bones is like, yo, this guy with one
Yeah,
leg.
it felt like an
gotta watch
early
out.
culmination of like, oh, okay, so this is what it's leading up to. Like, this is
So
gonna
you
be the
knew he was
guy.
a bad guy, potentially?
Yeah, I mean that's the vibe I got. The way it just ends that one chapter with him saying like, "My name's John Silver," and you're just like, oh, yeah, ended a chapter with him saying his name. He's a problem.
Well, and he just like immediately like has a crew.
yeah,
it's
and
like,
it's just like that's pretty convenient. You
it's
just
like,
show
wow.
up. Yeah.
Yeah, and then they kind of like make the Captain Smollett guy seem kind of like a douche.
Yeah, a
like,
little bit.
No one, I mean, even the investor guy almost like kind of doesn't trust him.
Yeah.
Because I think he even is like, yeah, I don't want to do it with this crew or something
Yeah,
like
he's
that
like, I
because
don't
they
like
know
any
stuff
of
I
them.
don't know because
Yeah.
they already knew about the treasure.
Well, he says that, but then he says, "I don't like that, but don't tell me anything. I don't want to know." And it was just like, well, why did you even say anything then?
Yeah.
No one would have told you if you just kept your mouth shut.
It's like, all right, dude, we won't tell you.
Now I
dude.
want to tell you just to piss you off.
Oh gosh. So then it kind of like jumps forward and they obviously end up getting there, but the captain kind of realizes like, oh, like essentially I think we're about to get savaged.
Yeah.
And then obviously, because wait, I think Jim tells him maybe.
Yeah,
He hides in
Jim,
that bucket.
and
or
what we
that,
listened to, yeah, he like just comes back and says like, yeah, they're talking about.
he was trying to get an
me.
apple and like
Yeah, and he
listens
hears
to
him
that conversation.
talking
Yeah.
smack. Yeah.
So the thing that I did not remember, especially like in Treasure Planet, that I feel like is slightly different is like once they get to the island and he goes off, like Jim goes with like kind of the rebellious guys who like they haven't taken over yet, but like they already know that they're gonna do that, and he like goes with them and then runs away because he like Long John kills like some guys who like aren't about it, who are like actually like just normal guys with the Smollett, Livesley,
couple
and
of
the
working
Trelawney.
fellas.
Yeah, they're like, all right, I thought we were just actually doing something. You're
Yeah.
not being pirates.
Just trying to work, bro. I got a wife and kid at home, please.
Exactly, they get assassinated. And so he ends up like running away, and there's that whole like fight scene where they like go to the little fort thing. That like from that part on, there was a lot of stuff like I didn't remember at all, or like I couldn't make comparisons. Like I just didn't know what was technically going to happen next, and I didn't realize that. Like, did you think Long John?
Nice.
Nice.
Love it.
Long John was gonna kind of help Jim again.
Not necessarily, but I wasn't like shocked when it happened. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, it's this thing.
Well, because none of the other guys like seem very smart.
Yeah.
So that was the other thing is like, freaking LJ is just so much
LJ.
smarter than everybody else. It seems like. I mean, even when they're like, yeah, we're gonna turn on you and basically screw you over now, he like still like uses words and just gets out
Yeah,
of
and
it.
still ends up at the end being like, I'm still your captain.
And
it's
they're
just
like, all right.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
you're right. Because it's like, if you were so set, they're like so set on mutinying, and then he just shows them that he still has a map. Why wouldn't they just still kill him? It's like,
Just
oh,
take the map.
we got the one thing that we wanted the most.
Yeah.
And we already decided we don't like you. But then just because he has the map and gives it to him, they're like, all right, you're still our captain. Which maybe that's honorable amongst thieves. I don't know, but
Yeah.
maybe it's one of those kind of things. But they all seem pretty dumb for sure.
Yeah, I mean, they needed a leader, and I guess he was the only one that was going to do that. That, and then the only other thing I was like, seriously, is when Jim, like, sneaks off. So he savages the, like, Ben Gunn guy kind of by, like, stealing his boat that he knew he had hidden. And then he, like, goes out to the, what was it, Hispaniola or whatever it is. And, that was a nice little nod to Christopher Columbus there.
Yeah.
But anyway, and he like undoes the like anchor to make the boat drift away, which I get, and then he ties his boat to his little dinghy thing to like the ship, and then just like, yeah, I'm gonna go to sleep now.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, seriously,
Like you don't have stuff going on.
Yeah, as if like he can't. Anyway, that was to me like that was convenient, and then also he kind of gets let off the hook when his gun's not loaded, and he points it at the guy who like is the one guy left on the ship.
Yeah.
And then he like gives him time essentially to reload, and then he kills him. And it's like, okay, but anyway, and then he like hides this ship somewhere where like no one else knows where it is, and it's like,
how does this 12-year-old know to hide a whole ship?
well, and it's like he docks it on a beach somewhere. Like, all right, just hit a lap around the island real quick, and you'll find it. Like, it's not like he had some invisibility cloak over the thing, but anyway.
No, not the cloak of invisibility. Isn't that a Horcrux or something?
Yeah, it's one of them 7 deadly sins, or whatever it is. Oh,
Deathly
jeez.
Hallows.
Deathly Hallows for sure.
There's only 3.
There are 3. There's an anime called 7 Deadly Sins.
Oh,
it's pretty good.
I thought I'd heard that before. Nice reference.
Yeah, I'm trying. I'm trying to think of what else intrigued me during the book. I mean, the only character that like I thought like knew what was up was the Dr. Livesey guy. Livesey guy.
Yeah, he knew what was going on.
I mean, even from the very beginning, he's like, yo, dude, if you don't get out of here, like, I'm going to have you hanged. To the Billy Bones guy who's just like wreaking havoc. He's like the only one who seems like, I don't know. Because the other dude, I guess the investor, the Trelawney guy, he's like the one who just brings Long John on and just trusting everybody. He's like, oh, dude, you want to do this? All right, yeah, dude. Yeah. He's a great guy. I vouch for him. And it's like, you don't even know this dude.
You want me to get some cash out of the bank for me? Here's my debit card.
Exactly, yeah. So I don't know. But overall, the end and like kind of that theme of like John, because I mean, or not John, Jim like is the only one out here low-key taking risks when he's, I guess, 12. Which, like, looking back, because I didn't realize that until afterwards, is kind of crazy that, like, where are these other guys at? And why aren't they doing stuff? Which I guess, like, is the whole point of the story of his, like, kind of being scared to do stuff at the end and, like, all at the beginning, like, always, like, thinking about going out to the sea and stuff and, like, doing something big. And so, I mean, he gets that chance to do that. But between that and then at the very end when they only give Ben Gunn, like, however much money out of it that was, like, not a very big percentage, which then the guy, like, has an argument of, like, well, he's just going to lose it all anyway, and I'll give him some more when he comes back. But anyway, how it seems that Jim, like, more just relate. I mean, you can tell this kid, like, just wants to be a pirate, I guess. Yeah. Which the guy kind of says that at the end.
Yeah, he says
about, like, I don't know what you're going to turn out to.
Yeah. Which is kind of like, I guess, like, kind of a Will Turner-esque thing from Pirates of the Caribbean, too.
True.
I feel like there's a parallel there. But I feel like he's also the only one that, like, really cares about there being any salvaging of life. Like, everybody else is pretty numb to, like even if, like, there was one character, like, where his boy died, and he's like, oh, well, these things happen.
Yeah, they roll
Whereas
up
everybody
like,
that died,
Redway
Jim was
like,
whatever. No,
not him.
Please stop. Not my boy that I've never talked to. Come on. But I felt overall like the big commentary on it, because there was the one guy who he was like dying, or no, he wasn't dying. This was when Jim takes over the ship and has a guy at gunpoint.
Yeah,
tells him to take down the flag.
Yeah.
Tells him to replace it with the Union Jack, and he was like, "That's a pirate flag. It's just a different color."
Yeah.
And then he says something about the king, and he makes another comment like, and then at the end, like the whole big thing is Jim finding out that they didn't give Ben Gunn very much money. So I feel like it's kind of a commentary on like corporatism and like how like, you know, on the British
being
Empire,
pirates too. They're being legal pirates.
Yeah, legal piracy. Yeah, they're basically saying the British Empire is just an empire of pirates.
Yeah,
they're just doing it,
which makes
lawfully.
sense. especially during that time. And then they have all these like shots at the French, kind of like sprinkled in there too. You
Yeah.
can tell like it was just like a part of the times, which I think is funny.
Yeah, bro.
But I mean, quick little thing. I mean, would I audible this again? No,
No.
especially not this one, just because like we talked about before. Dude, it got really confusing on like, all right, who is this talking sometimes? Like, obviously,
Yeah.
you knew the main characters
Yeah.
because their voices were so distinct. So, like, whenever Jim or the Doc or Long John Silver were chatting, like, you knew who those guys were. But some of these other dudes, like the Israel guy that he kills on the boat, who, like, had that whole commentary on the British, like, him and just some of those other guys, I just couldn't grasp sometimes. But I did think it was cool the way they did it, especially with the like sound effects and the water splashing, swords clanging, those type of things. But I do think I'd prefer just
either
like
a
read
regular
what's going
audible
on.
or just read it.
Yeah, read the because I trust an author in their description of stuff.
Yeah.
Because I can paint that kind of in my mind. I don't really necessarily need swords clanging for me to know there's a fight going on. I'd rather just read.
Yeah. If I ever listened to it again, it would only be the 1 minute version narrated by Luke Evans that we found the other day. I don't know what that could possibly be. It's 1 minute long. I don't understand.
It was only 1 minute?
I'm pretty sure.
I thought it was like an hour.
Maybe it was an hour. Maybe I was meant to say 1 hour.
Yeah.
But
I
either
think
way,
it was
still,
like significantly shorter.
1
yeah,
hour? Like, that's not much.
by Luke Evans.
He's absolutely speed reading that crap.
He's on too. Yeah.
He's on too.
But I mean, there's not really much that happens. I guess. I mean, it is a short book, so it's like
short book. It's cool. I wouldn't recommend it to anyone.
I'd recommend it
be
to like
honest.
some kids.
Yeah, I'd recommend it to a child probably.
Like if you have a little kid and you want to do a little bedtime story read. I mean, this would probably be a good one to like kind of start off with, just because it's easy to grasp. I think at least, and I don't know, especially the beginning. I really like the beginning more, I would say, than like the parts on the island. Like when Billy Bones, like when the first guy comes, the like Black Dog guy or whoever that was, and he has to fight him, and then when Pew comes, like I liked more of that.
How about Pew getting killed by getting like stepped on by a bunch of horses? That's how he died, right?
Yeah, he like everybody else ran. He's like, I'm not running, because they were like trying to still, because he like could smell that they were under like the bridge or whatever. His mom and Jim. He's like, no, like I'll stay my ground,
and he just gets
run down
by horses.
Well, you assume, because you don't know, because he's like, hey there, and he's just and that's all you hear. You don't like hear words.
And then the
So
guys
it's
say
just
that he's dead, but it's like,
so I guess he died, man.
all right, that's the
That's
end of
off
Pew.
to Pew, man. Rip.
That's the end of old Florence Pugh.
Flawless Pew. But that's all I have, dude, for Treasure Island. And I think if anyone's listening to like an hour and a half podcast on Treasure Island, tough.
Man, ain't this
I would say if you're like interested in hearing this story, just watch Treasure Planet. It's way better. That movie's sick.
Yeah, I can't imagine another time where we would say, don't read this book, watch this movie, but this is the 1 out of 1. Just watch Treasure Planet. Honestly, I haven't seen it in a while, and you mentioned it the other night when we did the childhood movies thing.
Yeah.
And now talking about it now, and after listening to this, I kind of want to watch it, so I might watch it later.
I was going to, if...
Do you want to watch it and
backed
cuddle in a little bit?
I'm done. Do you have Disney Plus?
I think.
You should, because you have Kenobi and all that. Those shows.
Yeah. That's why I watch that's how I watch the horrible Star Wars and Marvel stuff.
Dude, I'm honestly down to
lately.
watch it after this, because I haven't seen the full thing of it. But anyway, the parrot was kind of cool, because in Treasure Planet, it's like a little blurb, like a little.
Oh
it's
yeah,
not like a
that's
parrot;
right.
it's just like a little guy.
So, dude, let's try to, and it's gonna be hard because I don't remember the name. So, Long John Silver is obviously the guy that's described that way in Treasure Planet. Jim is Jim. You have the mom, and I'm imagining you like throwing up like the Treasure Planet character while I'm saying this. The mom is such and such, but then you have the girl is the captain, right? The like cat-looking woman or whatever.
Captain Amelia.
Yeah, she's the captain.
Yeah,
Gender
instead of
swap.
Captain
Pissed.
Smollett. Yeah.
But then you have the first mate that's like ginormous. He's like a rock person or something.
There is a guy who's like a rock.
He's like Korg.
Let me look up Treasure, because I'm looking at the cast.
The human versions.
Yeah, the actual cast. So Long John Silver, Scroop is like the bug guy. He kind of looks like Hopper, honestly.
Yeah, he's the bad guy. So who is he in the book? What's his name?
Maybe he's the Israel guy.
or Ishmael, yeah, whatever it was.
So there's a Dr. Delbert Doppler.
And that's the doctor from. Okay.
And then there's that robot that they find on there who like can't remember his brain and stuff.
Oh, that's Ben.
Named Ben, and his name is Ben in the thing.
Oh wow.
And then wait, there's a Mr. Arrow is like the first hand. He's the guy who's like a rock, Mr. Arrow, which he
gets killed early in the movie, but it's in a different way.
Yeah. So he is in it.
Wow. And he was a drunk in the book. Or they got him drunk when they killed him.
Oh, Arrow. Yeah, that is him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they made that a pretty different character.
Yeah. I forgot about that. So then the Israel Hands guy, what does he look like? They have him here. I'll put his picture up just because I can't remember him in the Treasure Planet. But anyway, yeah.
So anyway, this turned out to be just a promotion to go see Treasure Planet if you haven't. It's a great movie, especially if you have like kids or young,
Dude,
whatever,
so good.
nieces or nephews. It's a great movie.
That, and it's an hour and a half, so it's like, all right, I could watch Treasure Planet in an hour and a half, or I can spend 6 hours listening to that Treasure Planet. That's what's crazy to kind of put that into perspective.
Yeah, that is kind of wild.
But that's another book down for the books of the year.
Yeah, that's
Even
really
though
all that mattered because we were both
hard
behind.
on that one.
Yeah,
but it is what it is. You got to do what you got to do, man.
Yeah. So is that it?
That's it for me, man.
All right.
We'll
Into
get
the next.